How did you get the role of Donatello in the Tales Forever movie?
Yeah, that was just from having done Cody Jones and knowing those people there. Like I said before, kind of work begets work. Once you get in, you're kind of in. And Darren Dunstan was directing that, I do believe, and he called me in and just honestly, he had me read for all the turtles. I read every turtle, the Mirage version, and he just picked it. So I see on websites that it was Donatello that I did, and I guess that's the one that they chose. But I recorded all of them, and I'm sure they did that with several people and just made the choice after the fact. But that was one of several roles I recorded for that.
And did you feel any pressure when doing the voice of Mirage Don just because of how important he was?
No, no pressure. It was more just trying to find like a unique sound because they wanted, if I'm remembering this correctly, this was the black and white, sort of grim and gritty comics version of the character, and so they wanted something, I think, that was very different. So I didn't necessarily feel any pressure. Again, it was just sort of more like I was recording all of these character voices, going, I hope they like one of these.
Um, because and did you find it weird with your characters, like he was 1 minute in the future and then and when he next came back he was in the past?
Um, did I think that was weird? No, I was more like, like I said, I was kind of bummed that I didn't go back with them. And that was, that was about it. But I don't think the show lasted very long after that. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was not all that much longer before it wound up going to Nickelodeon, and they wound up having a whole other cast. I remember it was shortly after that I was at San Diego Comic-Con and walking around the floor, and somebody came up to me. There's these people handing out flyers and stuff, and it was somebody from Nickelodeon being like, "Hey, you want to meet the voice cast from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?" And I was like, "Well, I've been there. It's okay. I'll pass."
Um, because your character, because Cody was in the future, was there any like like weird or confusing parts about like being in the future?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was confusing. I mean, just because, again, there weren't any visuals for me to go off of for the most part, and so it's like it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm sure there were gadgets and conceits of being in the future that the writers had come up with that I just couldn't visualize because I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. So, at that point, you just try to say the lines with confidence and hope that they make sense.
Um, for the last episode in the show, Cody was at a very small scene. Did you specifically come in for that little scene?
The last episode, I don't remember. So was it the last episode of the whole series, and they had Cody?
Yes, it was. It was a wedding episode where Cody just looked in and went, "Hmm."
Yeah, I don't know. They might have pulled that from something I already recorded. My best guess is that somebody recorded that for me. Although I don't know, I suppose they could have called me back and I could have done it. I wish I had a better answer. But my best guess is that the producers would not want to have spent the money to bring me in just to say that they would have had somebody that they already had in the booth that they were already paying for the time just kind of do it in my voice. For all I know, it may have even been Darren. I don't know.
Did you prefer to do normal voiceover work or dubbing?
I'll say this. Because I've done I've done commercials and things like that, and the commercials have been a lot more lucrative. Like there are lots of other things that I made a lot more money on, but this seems to be the thing that people remember and people are the most passionate about and care the most about. So it's like That's great. I mean, here it is. I think I recorded those episodes in 2006 or 2005 or something like that, and it's 2020, and we're talking about it. And nobody's talking about my commercial work that way. So that's great. That's really fantastic.
And did you prefer to do TV shows or movies?
I honestly, I like TV shows because it's steady work. You know that there's going to be a new episode every week, and that you got something to do, and you're going to get paid for it, and it's a nice steady gig. Movies are great. As like if you're talking about live action stuff, I've done some live action movies, and I was living in New York at the time actually, and most of the stuff that I shot was not in New York. I would actually I'd fly to Los Angeles and shoot stuff. I shot one film in Denver, and that's just like vacation. You're away from home. You have no responsibilities. There's nothing to do other than you're just making a movie. And that's all you have to think about. So being on location on a movie is fantastic. It's grueling. It's hard work. It's not working in the mines or anything like that, but you are working long days, and you're tired, and you're expected to perform at a high level, even, after 12 hours or whatever it is that they're making you do. So, that part is enjoyable, but it's over in a few weeks, and then you're looking for the next job. So, I definitely like the stability of TV.
Do you prefer to do animation or live action?
Do I prefer animation or live action?
Yes.
I like animation because you don't have to get showered, or you don't have to dress up. Like live action. You gotta show up early. I mean, I remember there were some live action things that I shot where it's like I have to be on set at 6 a.m. And it's like there's an hour drive, and you gotta get up, beforehand. You can't just necessarily roll out of the rack. You got to get up and wake up. So it's like I'd be waking up at like 4:30 to be on set at 6 a.m. to then you're sitting around and you're getting in makeup, and then you're sitting around for a while, and then maybe you're recording something at 8:30 a.m. Before most people have even had a chance to wake up, civilized people at least, right? And or you're just sitting around all morning, and then it's like 11 o'clock, and you've been up since 4, and you're just like a zombie, and you've got to go shoot something. Whereas with animation, it's really like you have your time. You're supposed to be in the booth to record, and you show up and you knock it out. Maybe you're done in 10 minutes, and maybe you're done in an hour. But it's a whole lot easier. It's a whole lot more fun. It's a whole lot less taxing. I like animation a whole lot better.
And out of your career, and what would you say is your favorite like role to do?
In all my career, my favorite role. Hmm. I definitely enjoyed some of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Some of those distinctive characters, Jesse and Crow were interesting and fun kind of characters to do. In terms of live action stuff, I did a couple of horror movies that were fun, and like I did a movie called Bloodline for Lionsgate, and that was a lot of fun to do. It was a fun cast, a fun crew. We shot that out in Los Angeles, and it's just fun getting all the gore effects, and you're covered in blood, and it's that horror movies are fun to make.
Um, as a cult classic toll question, who would you say is your favorite toll?
My favorite turtle. Well, I'm going to go with Donatello just because I played him in the anniversary movie. That's I'm sticking with that. Yeah.
And because fast forward wasn't like in the community, did you ever receive any like hate towards playing Cody?
No, I never received any kind of hate. I figured that version of this show, probably wasn't the most popular since it only lasted a season. So you figure, you figure it's probably not the most popular thing. And Cody, no, nobody ever gave me any kind of hate over playing the character of Cody. But just as somebody who is a fan of things themselves, like, I could tell that there was probably going to be a large section of fandom that did not like this character. But that's the role I was hired to do, and I tried to do the best I could.
And how does it feel to be like the only one to portray Cody, and also the only version in Tell history to play him?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's sort of a unique thing, right? There have been lots of Donatellos, there have been lots of Raphaels, Leonardos. It just, yeah, to say that I'm the only one who's played this character, I think that's pretty cool.
So the final thing is, would it be okay if you said one of the catchphrases from the show?
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
Um, as a cult classic from Fast Forward, would it be okay if you said it's ninja time?
Sure. I got to think about what the voice is. Um, is he kind of way up here like this? Sort of kind of up here?
Close enough.
Close enough. All right. It's ninja time.
Our little Cody, all grown up.
Perfect.
How's that?
My charge is now complete.
All right, good. I appreciate that.
Wow, thank you so much. That's all the questions I have.
Great. Thank you very much for having me, Lewis. I appreciate it.